Yo, it's the Crim Reaper here. The John Cena heel turn is one of the worst heel turns of all time. And it's a shame to say because the initial segment was amazing. It had everybody on the edge of their seats. Everybody was shocked. Nobody expected it. But the actual execution of his heel run was subpar at best. So his attire didn't change. His entrance music didn't change. And everybody had all these creative ideas about what a heel Cena would be like. Everybody's been wanting him to turn heel for 20 years. Everybody speculated it. Everybody thought about, like people were talking about it for years. This was something we were looking forward to. And Triple H gave us the most lazy, uncreative heel run of all time. His attire didn't change. His entrance music didn't change. The Rock and Travis Scott just disappeared. They never showed up again after Elimination Chamber. Travis Scott didn't show up after WrestleMania. And John Cena was essentially just a bland, generic heel. I hate the fans. You people promos every week. And it was very subpar. Very subpar. The obvious implication of the heel turn that we all got was that he sold out to The Rock. And The Rock never showed up again. So it literally just became the laziest thing ever that, oh, I hate you guys now because you guys booed me 10 years ago. Even though fans nowadays, they don't even boo Cena anymore. He's respected and loved by everybody. So it was very lazy. It didn't make sense. And then the face turn was also lazy because the face turn literally happened on a regular episode of SmackDown. Like it wasn't built up to or nothing. Literally on just one episode of SmackDown, he was like, hey, y'all, I've been tripping these last few months. Like, I apologize for that. I've been tripping. I'm going to be the regular me again. So the heel turn, I won't say the initial turn was great, but the heel turn was lazy and the face turn was lazy. It was just the laziest effort. Like there was so much they could have done with a Cena heel turn because people were speculating about this, thinking about it, dreaming of this for years. And they just gave you the most disappointing execution of it you could possibly do. Both the face turn and the heel turn. So overall, Cena should have just stayed face during this farewell tour. It was a complete waste of the farewell tour because essentially the last 5 months are meaningless now. Like because like the whole heel run is just meaningless. Like it led to nothing. It led to nothing. Nothing changed. Cody Rhodes is champion again. And it's just a huge disappointment. It's a shame because it could have been done a lot better. The few good parts from the heel run, I'll say, were he had a few good promos, in my opinion, but that's just because Cena's amazing. So it was still interesting because it's John Cena. But the actual writing of it was terrible. Like he still had a few cool things like his pipe bomb against CM Punk. Some of the things he said to Cody were cool. The R-Truth saga. So there was like a few good parts. But overall, this heel run was very disappointing and very underwhelming. And it's a shame. All these things we expected. We expected a power duo of John Cena and The Rock. We expected John Cena to come out in a suit, be a corporate champion. All these things we expected. And he just came out in the same attire, the same theme music. And his whole motivation for being a bad guy was just, I hate the fans. But a cooler thing would have been, oh, I want to be champion again, so I'm going to sell out to The Rock. Like, that was the implication everybody thought at first, but it just became the most lazy, generic heel thing. And then his actual heel promo, like his first promo as a heel, it didn't even make sense, really. So his justification for not changing his music and stuff, I'll admit, actually, it was cool because what he was saying, like, is he doesn't want to give the fans any new stuff because they don't appreciate it. So I'm not going to give you new music. I'm not going to give you new merchandise. He did give us new merchandise. Like he had new merchandise for every city they went to. Like literally he showed up in new colors every single week. So at least if he would have kept the same attire, that would have made sense. But he literally showed up in different attires every single week, like for the town that he was showing up to. And you can tell that, and obviously that happened because this wasn't planned out. Like it wasn't planned for him to turn. Like he was supposed to be a babyface the whole time, But because they were trying to make something shocking for WrestleMania, at the last second, they just turned him heel. But obviously, Triple H didn't think this through. This wasn't a long-term plan. It was something he just came up with on the fly. But that really ruined it right there, because his first promo was literally like, I'm not giving you guys new merchandise or anything. You don't deserve anything from me. And then he comes out of new merchandise every single week. Like, terrible, man, terrible. I guess what they were trying to say with the heel run was like, I didn't turn on you. You guys turned on me, which is that's what they were trying to go for. But again, it doesn't work because the fans don't hate him anymore. This would have made more sense if he turned heel in 2015, or if he turned heel in 2012. It would have made more sense then, but it doesn't work now when pretty much everybody cheers for John Cena. Like and subscribe to the Crimson Wrestling Federation, brother. And arguably, even after all of the stuff I just said, arguably the biggest downfall of his heel run is he wasn't dominant. He didn't do anything menacing as a heel. He wasn't dominant. None of that. He literally got RKO'd, crossroaded. He got beat up by everybody. Like, literally, that's not how you make a dominant, interesting heel. Like, every babyface kicked his ass before every match. You can't take somebody serious if that happens to them every time. And he didn't really do anything menacing. There's nothing menacing he did as a heel besides doing cheap shots during matches, I guess, and using the title. But there wasn't really anything he did that made you want to hate him. There's nothing he really did, I guess, besides maybe teaming up with Logan Paul. But like, I guess you can say that. But that's not really a reason. There was things like he could have cut R-Truth's hair. I know some people were saying that. I actually read somewhere, I'm not sure if it's true, not take this with a grain of salt. I read somewhere that R-Truth actually recommended that he cut his hair. But yeah, there was nothing really he did that gave him a lot of heel heat besides the initial night where he beat up Cody Rhodes with his watch. It could have aided the heel turn if he was actually doing dominant, crazy stuff on a weekly basis. Like he beats up Cody with his watch some more, or he cuts R-Truth's hair. When they released R-Truth, he could have been like, oh, I'm the reason R-Truth is gone. I retired R-Truth. They didn't give you really a reason consistently to hate him. And you know who is arguably the biggest heel in WWE? TKO. Like, everybody hates TKO. Everybody hates them for putting up all the prices. If they wanted to give Cena heel heat, make him come out as a member of TKO. Like, make him as the biggest ambassador of TKO, of taking everybody's money, of being this corporate guy. Like, that could have been an easy way to give him heel heat, because everybody already has this hate against TKO. And it would have brought more attention to him. It would have brought more attention to the ads. Like, it would have been a double benefit. It would have brought more attention to all the ads and the sponsors and everything. And it would have got him heat. There was so many creative things you could have done here, and they did none of them. Literally a 5-year-old could have been more creative than what they did with this run. For more of the Crimson Brothers, follow the Crimson Wrestling Federation today. I'm commentator Havoc, the voice of the Crimson Wrestling Federation. And you can see the calls I've made in the Crimson Wrestling Federation, in the comic Crimson Wrestling Game, Story of Malice, in the description below. For more of the Crimson Brothers, follow the Crimson Wrestling Federation today. I'm commentator Havoc, the voice of the Crimson Wrestling Federation. And you can see the calls I've made in the Crimson Wrestling Federation, in the comic Crimson Wrestling Game, Story of Malice, in the description below.